Hello and welcome to today's lesson. So today's lesson is going to be about calories, the fundamentals basically of nutrition and how to set up your fat loss phase to make it as successful as possible, because we all want to get in the best shape we can, right? So that's why you're watching the course. So without boring you too much, I'm going to get straight into it. So I'm just going to swap over to screen share. I hope you enjoy. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and don't forget, download the calorie counter that will be plugged below. Peace. Right then, so let's get straight into it. So this presentation is going to be about the fundamentals of nutrition for fat loss. And in today's lesson, we're going to cover the basic information that you will need to reach your kind of fat loss and your weight loss goals. So across the course of this kind of lesson, we're going to touch on a number of things. So first of all, we're going to look at a term called the nutritional hierarchy, and that's from Eric Helms, because that just kind of helps us think about what's most important in terms of our body composition and health. Then we're going to look at energy balance, calories, nutrition, micronutrients, how to work out your dieting calories, and I'm going to help you to do that with the resource that I provide on this lesson. And then we're going to look at the next steps and what you can expect from the rest of the kind of lessons moving forward. So to frame this kind of lesson and then this presentation, we're going to look at Eric Helms' nutrition hierarchy. So we're going to focus mainly on the bottom two stages of the pyramid. So energy balance, micronutrients, and then we're going to slightly touch on micronutrients, and you'll see why later on. As you can see, these two pillars down here, they hold up the kind of the fundamentals of everything else, and they have the biggest impact on our muscle and our strength. So in terms of losing body fat and making our bodies look better, energy balance is the biggest factor. Then it's macronutrients, which if you don't know what they are yet, I will help you understand them in a minute. And then micronutrients, then nutrient timing and supplements. So this might go against some of the kind of supplements that you've seen that have said, oh, take this supplement and it will change how you look. That's not true, because if you're not taking care of your energy balance, you will not get anywhere near the results that you would if you just looked at energy balance alone instead of worrying about the supplements. So before I get fully stuck into all of this, let's get back on track and I'll look at energy balance. So energy balance is the direct relationship between energy balance is the direct relationship between the energy you consume from food, otherwise known as calories, that we'll touch on in a minute, and then the amount of energy that goes out of your body through basic bodily functions, activity, and exercise. So everyone's been told do more and you'll lose weight. That is where that comes from, because fundamentally if you do more you will burn more calories, and it might help you lose weight. Thermodynamics dictate this relationship and is a key mechanism to whether we gain or lose weight, or even remain the same body weight for a prolonged period of time. Every one of us, so me, you, your friend, your mum, we will all have our own calorie intake that we need to consume to remain the same weight day to day. If we over that amount, so if we eat more calories, more energy than that amount, we will gain weight. And if we under that, so less calories, less energy than we're expending, we will lose weight. So that's where we kind of want to be for fat loss. So for the process of losing fat and transforming our body, that's why you're here, that's why you're watching this course, you have to be in a negative energy balance. So that calorie deficit that you might have heard people talking about. There's no other way of losing body fat. Regardless of what people might tell you, so other personal trainers, other people trying to sell you supplements or green tea or coffee, they don't burn fat. And in a similar vein, certain workouts won't help you burn fat and give you six-pack abs. But the realization is that if you're in a calorie deficit for a prolonged period of time and you lose body fat that is covering those abs, you will be able to see your abs, and then you will lose weight. It will not be the supplements or the magic workouts. So here at Project Sparks, we recommend that all of our clients, so I'm classing you as a client now, I'm afraid, you need to be looking at counting calories. The importance of this will be shown later on, but this can be done very simply through an app called MyFitnessPal. You might have heard of it, you might have it on your phone, you might not use it, you might use it. It allows you to put all your food that you eat, you drink, manually or scanning a barcode. So you can either weigh your food or you can just simply scan the barcode on the back of the item. And it's a really accurate way of putting yourself in the kind of correct environment to lose body fat. And I'll be doing a tutorial on this, so another lesson on MyFitnessPal later on in a few weeks' time. So with this in mind, we need to get to grips with something that you've all probably heard of, and that's a thing called calories. So what are calories? Calories are basically energy. They are a unit of energy, and it's how we explain how food has energy and how we use it. So our body converts the energy that's in our food, whatever we eat, in the calorie content of the food, into energy so that we can use it throughout the day. Everything that you eat, that you drink, has a calorific value associated with it. And like we said earlier, your calorie or your energy consumption is the biggest determining factor in your ability to lose fat or gain weight or remain the same weight. Within calories, there are certain things called macronutrients. So if you look at this graph here, it might help you to kind of understand macronutrients a little bit better. So all of the calories that we consume are made up of different nutrients that our body needs. These are shown in the diagram. So we have protein, carbohydrates, fats, and then we also have alcohol that I don't necessarily recommend that you have on a frequent basis, and maybe you monitor or limit your alcohol consumption. So each of these nutrients, as you can see if you follow them down, have a calorie value associated with them. So they have an energy value associated with them per 1 gram. So for 1 gram of protein, there is 4 calories. For 1 gram of carbohydrate, there is 4 calories. For 1 gram of fat, there is 9 calories. And for 1 gram of alcohol, there is 7 calories. So this is interesting. So then all the foods that we eat are made up of a certain amount of these macronutrients that then bring with them calorie amounts that then give us the energy from our food. So it's all well and good knowing this, but we need to know how to apply it to our own lives and the food that we eat. So let's have a really simple look at a food item. We can see if we can break it down. So let's look at this 182 gram apple. So I got this from MyFitnessPal. So the apple equates to 104.7 calories, to be precise. And they are made up of the macronutrients that I've said here. Obviously not alcohol, but these 3 macronutrients. And as you can see on the screen, to understand the calorie content of this food, we need to multiply the grams of each nutrient by its calorie value. So these are the amount of grams of the macronutrients in the food. So there's 25 grams of carbohydrate, there's 0.5 grams of protein, and 0.3 grams of fat. So to work out the calorie amount of this apple, we have to times 25 grams of carbs by 4 calories, because we know that 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories. So we have 25, so we have to do 25 times 4, and that equals 100. And now we do the same for proteins and fats. So there was 0.5 grams of protein, so we times 0.5 by 4 and we get 2. And then we do the same for fat. 0.3 times 9 equals 2.7. And then you add them together and you have the exact calorie amount of the food. It's also important to kind of think about within your diet, and when we're thinking about nutrition, is a thing called micronutrients. So it sounds similar to macronutrients, but macronutrients are a nutrient in themselves, and then they are found in larger amounts, and then micronutrients often are minuscule amounts. However, they have quite a big impact on our overall health and day-to-day function of our body. So basically, micronutrients are the vitamins and minerals that you find in the food and things that you drink. foods that you eat and things that you drink, sorry. And often within weight loss and body transformation kind of courses and personal trainers, we're also caught up in training and calories that our micronutrient content gets worse. And this is not necessarily good. Although it has less of an impact on our overall body composition and our overall kind of ability to lose fat, in terms of bodily functions, it is very important. And it's not just about, it is often not just about how good we look, it's also about how well we feel. So you may have heard of vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin D. For example, vitamin C helps us with our healthy immune system, among many other things, not just our immune system. And without these substances, our bodies would really struggle to carry out the day-to-day functions that it needs to do. A great rule of thumb is to first try and eat as much fruit and vegetables as you can, really. I mean, that is where you're going to find most of your micronutrients to cover all of your bases. Obviously, you could try and supplement with them, but there is mixed research on whether actually the vitamin pills, you can absorb them, whereas with the foods, it might be more easily absorbed. So a great rule of thumb is to try and eat more fruit and vegetables. Obviously, if you're trying to lose fat, those foods, so those vegetables and those fruits, need to fit within your calorie goal for that day. Otherwise, you're going to be out of a calorie deficit and then you won't be losing fat. But if you can get them within your calorie goal, they'll provide you with a variety of these macronutrients and keep you healthy and keep your body working a much smoother and healthier body. So it's all well and good knowing all this, but what can we do with it? So let's look at how we can use the calorie counter that I have attached to this video and work out our dieting calories. So when working out your calorie intake, you need to think and remember that everyone is individual. So if you're doing this with your partner or your friend, you need to know that they will probably have a different calorie amount. They might be able to eat more, they might have to eat less. That's just the way life is. We're all different. So don't expect to get it right 100% of the time. There's a lot of trial and error in this. So if you use the calorie counter and it doesn't, and you stick to those calories for a long period of time and you don't see any change, you might need to lower your calories, or if you lose too much weight too quickly, you might need to put your calories up. So yeah, there will be some trial and error. So let's look at the calorie counter. So it's pretty simple. So this is all set up for fat loss. So if you are looking to gain muscle, you probably need to go on one of my other courses and see what I talk about there, because it is quite different. So you need to enter your body weight in pounds here. So let's say, for example, I'm 210 pounds, and it will calculate your calories, your maintenance calories, your dieting calories, and then your macronutrients that you should try and follow. So based on my calculations, my spreadsheet is saying that my maintenance calories, so to remain the same calories for a prolonged period of time, I need 3,100 calories a day. It's quite a lot of food, so that's good going. However, if we want to lose fat, which is why you might be here, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So as you can see here, that's a 500 calorie deficit, so down to 2,600 calories. That's all well and good. You could go away and just start tracking your calories now and you'd get great results, because remember, your energy balance dictates the most your body composition. However, the next stage up was macronutrients, remember. So if you want to take it to the next level, you can look at tracking your macronutrients and aiming to hit certain portions of macronutrients within your day. So based off of these calculations, the spreadsheet is saying that I should be eating 210 grams of protein a day, 310 grams of carb, and 55 grams of fat. This will work for fat loss for me. I know it because these calculations are what I've worked out, and I run this with lots of my online clients in my group coaching model. So if you have any questions about this, let me know and I'll happily answer them in the comments. But I think that's enough for now. I've been talking for quite a while. I hope this explains a few things. So let's just look about what next. So in terms of the learning process, you want to try and apply what you've quote unquote learned in this. So what I've talked about, make notes and apply it. Then you need to practice it, because we need to practice it so it gets ingrained in our brain. You never learn how to do something unless you're very talented doing it once. You also want to evaluate what you've learned. So is it working for you? If it isn't, we need to think of something else, and hopefully I'll cover those in other lessons. And then you need to reflect on what you've learned. So what have you learned? How have you learned it? What more do you need to know to get even better results? Because reflecting on what we learn is a powerful tool in actually moving forward, because lots of people learn things, they don't necessarily apply them, and then those things slip out of their day-to-day, and they haven't reflected on them, evaluated them, and applied them. So make sure you're doing that, and then look out for the next lessons that I'll be uploading on how to track your calories on your phone, so on MyFitnessPal. And then I'll be looking at some dieting myths, so things like keto, low carb, and a carnivore diet. And then there will also be another course on how to train. So I'm really looking forward to this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Peace, 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 peace.